Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys in California. Before I begin, give all praise to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahushai. I pray that we get more understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, we're going to talk about this new law that was passed for Juneteenth. I was checking out a video or a live right now from Maccabees TV. He did a great job breaking down some of the things that are going on with this holiday and the kind of underlying things that are going on. And it's never what it seems like. We understand that there's an agenda. And the brother on Maccabees TV did a great job breaking that down and, showing they pretty much put their whole agenda out there on their own anyways. All he did was show a video. And, today they're talking about Juneteenth, which, you would think they would be talking about slavery and the end of slavery and the emancipation of the so-called African Americans. But Biden had a speech and MSNBC played part of the speech. And let's just say that particular clip, they were pushing their agenda. We all know what agenda that is. We don't have to say anything. We understand what's going on. But that's why you probably go check out the live on Maccabees TV, and he goes much more into it. Now, we know we're here at the end. And they know that they're at their end. So when there always seems to be like a underlying reason to these events, it's never what they really put out. It's not like all of a sudden, they're trying to make amends for slavery. It's not like now they're trying to admit their wrongs, right their wrongs, anything like that. They are just using certain events to push an agenda. I mean, they've had hundreds of years to pass something like this. They've had hundreds of years to try to acknowledge their wrongs. But they've done everything to cover their wrongs up. They've never been about, fixing what they've done to our people. They've never been about acknowledging what they've done to our people. Even in the churches today, as they admit that America is under judgment, they're still not admitting why America is now falling under judgment. They're not admitting why the whole world is going into judgment. It's still, for them, it's only about the things that have happened recently. It's still about abortion. It's still about taking, white Jesus out of the schools. It's all about them taking, people taking prayer out of schools because, they were such a godly Christian nation at their inception, and they lost their way here at the end. We understand that that's not true, but see, that shows you right now that this whole thing with Juneteenth has nothing to do with acknowledging the wrongs of slavery. Because if they were really serious about acknowledging the wrongs for what they've done to our people, this would be something that would be pervasive through all segments of society. But they still do their best to say, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. I never had slaves. I said they still are not admitting, the fact that they have benefited from slavery, from slave labor, from stealing of the lands. They still have gone out of their way to not admit absolutely any of these things. They don't admit the fact that they have to pay for these things. So if they're not admitting that, which is just really so blatant and right in your face, then why even pass something like a holiday all of a sudden right now? If they're not going to admit what's been happening in the past this whole time, which they could easily do, if they're trying to hide all that and they're still trying to ignore that, then why pass a holiday right now? That just shows you then that there's some other ulterior motive to their actions today. Because remember now, Psalms 83, everyone is confederate against the Most High's chosen people. So if they're still confederate with hiding everything that has happened, okay. If they're still confederate with hiding everything that's happened, then why now commemorate the slavery of our people? They're not talking about the 13th Amendment and how that just continued slavery. They're not asking for forgiveness for that. They're not trying to bring attention to those kinds of things. So, like I said, so there's something else there's another motive to passing this holiday right now. And see, they're going to push the whole, okay, we're going to talk about, oh yeah, there was slavery and this is that. But it always goes back to, we need to all come together. We all need to work together. We need to hold hands and have a kumbaya moment. Why all of a sudden now is it all about coming together? In order to come together, you've got to admit what you've done wrong. You've got to admit everything, not just one little part of it. So like I said, so when we see these events that are happening, we can't just look at the superficial understanding or the superficial motives, because there's always something underneath. And there's always some kind of a motive, from the other nations. See, that's why, when other people are wronged, they give some type of reparations. Ish still gets millions of dollars a day. They talk about, oh, well, the Japanese people, they had internment camps. Well, they got money as well. I said, so, but the real Israelites, they know that they can't give reparations. They can't fix the wrongs. They can't right the wrongs. So admitting, or giving a holiday at this point, what the hell is a holiday going to do at this point? We've served our time, and they went out of their way to hide everything that they've done. They I said they even tried to change it, even in the history books, instead of being slavery. I remember in one of the states they tried to change it to an unpaid apprenticeship. So those are the things that they've done to hide their actions, to hide, how they've gotten to the way, to the point that they are right now. So if they hid all that and they're still hiding all that, then why in the hell would they give us a holiday? There's something else going on, much deeper and much more sinister than meets the eye. They understand the times that we are in. Many are still looking forward to, many of these prophecies that need to be fulfilled and things like that. And they still haven't realized that many of the prophecies have already been fulfilled. They understand that these prophecies have been fulfilled. Many of these prophecies have been fulfilled as well. They understand the times that we're in. They see the ships in the sky. And they see the ships and they're terrified. As you hear about the UFO disclosure and things like that. And they're talking about the UFOs and how much more technologically advanced they are than the weaponry that they have here. They know that they can't box with the Most High. They can't fight with the Most High. They understand that. But if you know you're going down and you know your time is up, you're going to try to take as many people as you can. And that's all part of the agenda right now. They know that their reign is over with. They know that we are waking up. And that's a huge part of prophecy. The revelation, the revealing. They try to make it seem as if it's all about just death and destruction, but it's also about our awakening spiritually, our awakening to our ways from before. There's all these megalithic structures, pyramids, sacred sites, ley lines that are worldwide that the other nations, the Gentiles, have, just said, well, we don't know who built them. We don't know where they came from. We don't know, but we're still the authority. We're still going to be the ones that are going to tell you everything, but we don't know anything. We can't tell you who built this, and we can't tell you why they seem to have had more they were more technologically advanced in the past than we are right now. They can't tell you anything, but they still want to be, the authority on everything. So that's why when you see these types of things, we understand that they have no intentions of admitting the things that they've done. They know that Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. They knew that this was their time, and they knew that they were going to be able to enjoy this world for a time. They made tokens for themselves all over the world. So now, to pass a holiday, some people are gonna be like, "Oh, they're trying to make amends. Isn't that enough?" I hear that a lot of different people, like, well, they're trying. No, they're not trying. They've known about this. They've known what they've done, and they've tried to keep it out of history books. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to teach about it. So, if that's the case, then, like I said, there's something more sinister to what this is. There's something more sinister to their actions. It's not about admitting the things that they've done. They've never done that. And even in the scriptures, it says, they're not going to do that to the end. In fact, in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, it's always about, these are the ones, these are the people, these are the sons and daughters of the living God, the ones we had in derision. So that's why so many are not going to understand what's going on. And that's why even in passing a holiday right now, I said, that's not what they're doing it for. They're just trying to continue with their agenda. And I would suggest that you guys check out Maccabees TV's live that he did today. I'm not sure what the title, might have been Juneteenth. I'm not sure exactly what the title was, but it's his live that he did today on Maccabees TV. I said it was, and he'll give you more information. I just don't want to go into it because he already did a good job with the video. So I suggest you just go check out the live, and he explains quite a bit in there, and he actually plays the video from Biden and what he said and part of his speech, and you'll see it yourself. That you'll see what the agenda is in Biden's own words. And so that's exactly, showing where we're at. And now we're understanding that you just can't take anything that they say, and blindly. You always kind of have to look at them on the side of your eyes, at the side of your eyes, because we know that there's always something behind them. When they try to offer you something or you think they're doing something, nice, or we know that that's not the case. Everything is always about, if they talk about us, and things that happen to us, it's always about, well, we're trying to build, we're trying to all come together. It's never about, they never concentrate on the things they've done to us. They might admit it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they take it back to, well, but we need to come together. We all need to come together. We all need to come together. So it'd be like, yeah, we know you guys were in slavery. We know we had you guys slavery, but you know what? Let's forget about that now, and let's all just come together. Let's just come together moving forward, with us on top. They always want to make sure that they're the ones dictating, and they're the ones that are going to be on top all the time. But see, that's what the Most High is going to change. They're not going to be the head anymore. And the Most High is working right now to bring them down. And they understand this. They already know this. This is why every time, you look at the news, every place that they turn, things are getting worse. You look at one thing, it's the drought. You look, another channel, it's about the economy. I was checking out a video from Lisa Cabrera, and they're talking about, the foreclosure moratorium and how that's going to be expiring here at the end of the month, and jobless benefits, and those are going to be, and the Republican states are trying to take those out away early, trying to say people are just being lazy and don't want to work, and shipping. You see that as a problem. You see housing. Millions of people getting ready to get kicked out of their homes because of the moratorium. Jobs. Many people not wanting to go back to these jobs, or these jobs don't pay enough to be able to pay for they don't pay a living wage. Inflation. Prices jumping everywhere. Food shortages. Meat. Not being readily available. Products aren't being available. The dainties of life. I said, but what society is doing is they're giving you games. They're giving you sports in order to distract you. But you even see now, even with the NBA playoffs, you see all the stars of these teams all getting hurt. I said, so you start seeing all these different things going on because, like I said, that's the Most High. It's like He's in control. Like your entertainment, Most High's touching that too. Your escape, Most High's touching that as well. Everything that you guys, want to do, the Most High is touching it. He's destroying it. He's making it so that you're not going to be able to just enjoy yourselves anymore. And right now, yeah, things might be opening up, things like that, but things can change at the drop of a hat. Things can change at the drop of a hat. Things might seem a certain way right now, but things can get worse at any time. Things will get so bad that they won't be able to hide what's going on. As you like I said, you keep looking at the news, and you see this country's at this country's neck. You see, the so-called Middle East. You see Israel bombing Gaza again. You see Ukraine getting ready to be accepted into NATO, so you already know it's a red line with the Russians. You see China, flying 20 plus jets into Taiwanese airspace. So you see them getting ready to possibly take over Taiwan. I said, so you just keep looking everywhere you look. There's something. Everywhere you look, there's something. So as we understand that, they said all these events, and all these events happening worldwide, but all of a sudden, hey, we're going to pass a federal holiday, Juneteenth. We're going to acknowledge, our role in slavery, or the freeing of the slaves. All of a sudden, all these things going on, and that seems to be part of, an agenda right now. That seems to be really important right this minute. I mean, the timing is impeccable. Why now? Why pass that now? With all the things that are happening right now, does that really seem to be something that's really important? Does it seem to be something that you could have done years ago, but you didn't do it? See, the people in this country have been too busy, trying their best to keep us at the bottom. Anytime something bad happens to us, they always came up with such an excuse. Well, what did he do? If a cop shoots one of us down and kills us, well, what did he do? What he must have did something to piss the cop off, or he must have did something, or the cop needs to make sure that he goes home. So if he, is a little more aggressive, that's okay. See, that's been the mindset of the world of this nation this whole time, that they could kill us, destroy us, and they would just make excuses for it. We could talk about slavery, and they would be like, "Oh, well, that's old. That I didn't have slaves, or that was such a long time ago." So, like I said, this whole country has just been about ignoring all the things that have happened to our people. So when you guys were in your blessing, that's how you guys were. You guys are so quick to just, it's no big deal. Don't worry about, hey, it was a long time ago. Hey, move forward. Let's all move together forward. We're all equal now. After we've taken everything and we left you with nothing. So this country's been like that this entire time. But all of a sudden, now that everything is falling apart, now you want to pass a holiday? Now you want to pass a holiday acknowledging, the supposed end of slavery, but we already know about the 13th Amendment and the continuation of slavery all the way up until today. So we understand that there's always something underlying your guys' actions. You don't do anything that just because, or we know you don't do anything just because you love us. We've been hated and we're still hated. We've been lied on, and still you guys continue to lie on us. You've taken everything from us, and you still continue those actions today. You're still calling us African Americans when you know we're the Hebrew Israelites. Even to this day, you still call us everything but what we are. So if you can't even admit who we are, then we know that you passing this holiday is just another hollow act that has another agenda. All praise is to the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.